1067 FM and italk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Beamer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 1067 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Basketball on iTalk1067.com, and according to the AIA rankings, we have the 12th ranked Snowflake Lobos coming down the 77 to Route 66 to play the 13th ranked HOLBROOK Roadrunners. I'm Aaron Hewish. I will be joined shortly by Randall Anselmo, and we're first going to go to our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game, and as far as we know, a couple ankles, a couple knee braces for the Lobos, but the Roadrunners are riding pretty healthy. So, folks, that has been our Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center pregame. Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center has everything to get your athlete back in the game. As we get set to bring you action, we're going to go real quick after the national anthem to our Ace Hardware keys to the game. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a 2-minute break. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Want to go skiing or snowboarding? Visit our friendly Honda Outdoor Sports. We offer skis, snowboards, and helmet rentals, custom footbeds, ski and snowboard repairs, as well as retail shopping for your snow gear, goggles, beanies, snow tubing, and even ice fishing supplies. We have all you need to prepare you for the outdoors. We welcome you to Honda Outdoor Sports, located 1 mile west of the casino.
Always good to have local students, those nice renditions of our national anthem. And whatever your political views are, we can all agree to stand and salute the flag and join as Americans for the national anthem. Great job by those young ladies. Randall, we're going to move for our Ace Hardware keys to the game. When you need a key, may day or night, when you're locked out of your car, any night of the week, any hour of the day, you can call Ace Hardware, Pine Top, Overgarden, Sholo. So now we're going to go to our keys to the game. Randall, we have the Lobos, Coach Joe Clare. We have the Roadrunners, Coach Delmar Johnson, and wow,
we've got an exciting game on our hands. And let me tell you, I talked to both coaches prior to the game, and I talked to Delmar Johnston of the HOLBROOK Roadrunners, and I asked him, I said, what are your key points tonight? He goes, we got to be strong on our rebounds, We've got to make our open shots, and we've got to get back on D quickly. Well, then I also went down, and then I talked to Joe Clare, and I asked him the same question. What are your key points for tonight's ball game? And he says, we got to hold
Tapaha.
Tyler
Tapaha. We're going to have to talk about him.
Yep. He says they got to hold him. They got to hold him from his 3 points because he's solid in his 3 points.
He's all over the court. He can handle the ball. He can go inside, and he can shoot the 3.
And then he goes, if our boys play really good, when we're having fun.
Yeah. So let's talk about the senior, Tyler Tapaha. And
got something on the floor right there by the first cheerleader in front of her foot.
as we have Tyler Tapaha, who can seemingly do it all for the Holbrook Roadrunners. Now, Snowflake came out victorious the last time these teams met in a very close game. In fact, I'm going to look that up, but if I'm the Lobos, this gym is hard to play in. And if Holbrook can get those open shots in the corner and they can make them, it is going to be a long night for the Lobos, as Brewer is going to jump center against Salaby. As we have our head official for this evening, Brian Lang, to throw up the ball. And the ball goes up, and it's controlled by the Lobos, Landon Clare. And Randall, real quick, these Snowflake won 54-52 last time these played. So this is seemingly easily matched up. They're right next to each other in the rankings. So here's Core into Brewer. Brewer puts it up, 2 points for the Lobos. Really quickly, Asher Brewer, there's 2. Now, Randall, being an official, you've seen both of these teams, correct?
I have. I've officiated their games, yes.
As Tapaha goes in and he misses his first open shot of the game, but that definitely won't be his last shot. As Landon Clare goes, we're going to have a whistle, we're going to have a travel. As you can't do that in high school ball. You can't slide that first foot and then take 2 more steps.
No. And they've really been hitting us officials to make sure that we're picking up those travels, especially on that Euro step.
Right, and there's Tapaha as he goes in, and there's his first 2 points of the game. Randall, as he knocks it down, we have a tie ball game, and they feed him. But I'm telling you, I've watched a lot of these two particular teams play, and this rivalry, this Holbrook Snowflake rivalry, especially in basketball, goes back a very long way.
Absolutely. This goes back to when I was in school.
Well, I was talking to one of the principal of Snowflake High School, Shane Brimhall, who's a basketball historian of the area, especially of Lobo basketball, and he was giving me some facts and figures of happening and who's playing and over the years, and it was absolutely, as Brock Irvin misses off the back of the rim, rebound is going to go to Basenti. Basenti's not going to bring the ball up the court, and he was talking about, this player, they jumped against this one, and he actually knew players who had played in games and could find the proof through old newspaper archives of playing against those players. So absolutely fantastic. In fact, Randall, he sends out, Principal Brimhall sends out a trivia, and the trivia this week was how many last names have played for Lobo basketball. And not only how many last names, what was the first, second, and third most popular names. Actually, he asked the third most popular name, and it was amazing to see as Tapa's first free throw is good, and young man's kind of on a roll already. And so the history and that is, and just the rivalry, you have Holbrook Winslow, Snowflake Holbrook, Sholo Blue Ridge, Sholo Snowflake, Blue Ridge Snowflake, and apparently I'll just say Holbrook now too.
that is a
did you see that layup by Asher Brewer? That was
a reverse layup.
I'm going to say, nice. Randall, 6 minutes and 19 seconds left. That could be our drive of the game.
It could well be, but we've got a lot of ball game yet to go.
Oh, I expect Tapaha to have 1 or 2. As Brewer gets the steal, he goes forward to Urban. Urban goes up and in. It's going to be good. And that's Brock Urban for 2 points for the Lobos. Very, 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 very small lead for the Lobos, as I thought we had a whistle, but apparently not. As now Coor steals the ball and is pass intended for Tapaha. Coor's going to take it. He's going to roll it up, and then that's going to be 2 points for Aiden Coor. And when I was talking to Mr. Brimhall this morning, one of the things that we were discussing was rivalries in the state of Arizona. And you and I have had that conversation. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a loose ball foul, and that's going to go against the Lobos. As some of these old small-town rivalries have just been around over 100 years. Round Valley St. John's, Holbrook Winslow. I don't know if it's quite 100 years, but it's pretty dang close. Bisbee Douglas. I'm sure Tucson High and somebody, not quite as old. Even some of the Valley schools, Mesa and Mountain View only goes back to the late 70s. But these small town, Ray Hayden, Miami Globe. I mean, we're talking deep rivalries, and this Snowflake Holbrook is in that category as well.
It is.
3-point shot, that is no good, and that was not tipped. That was Salaby attempting that three. Now Merrick Oberg bringing it up for the Lobos. As Oberg goes, Oberg almost got his arm in front. Crowd thought he traveled. Now back to Coors. We're going to whistle, and we're going to get a traveling call as we look at the replay. And Randall, tripping over feet is not necessarily a foul most of the time.
That's correct. You can't. There is not a foul. There is not a foul. Just because you trip over the opponent's feet. So it's kind of part of the floor.
Just like it's not a pass interference if you run into each other.
That's correct. That's correct. Because there is some.
And there's Tyler Tapaha. And Lobo's thinking he was going to go up with it. Now he gives it to Salaby. Salaby had an open layup, but at the last minute, it was collapsed on and it was knocked out of his hands. Now the Lobos control it. There's the Oberg. There's Brewer. Brewer's going to put up a three. And Asher Brewer, it's going to go off the top. It's going to have hit. Now, I thought it had to hit something on there, so our referee must have seen that, but regardless, it's out of bounds and it's the ball.
Well, by rule, if the ball goes over the backboard, it is out of bounds and it goes the opposite
Even if
direction.
it doesn't hit anything.
That is correct.
Okay, I thought it still had the opportunity to.
No.
As Rico has the ball. Rico over on the far side. He's guarded by Claire. Rico drives the lane. He's going to put up. We're going to get a whistle. And we're going to get a blocking foul on Brock Irvin. And, Randall, that's one thing that I've talked about with Coach Brogan, as it's seemingly that this year they've hammered that offensive foul. And so I was actually surprised to not see it there, but nonetheless, I'm not the one officiating the game. But as Rico's going to go to the line, he's going to get a chance to put in a couple.
Now, you were talking about rivalries. One of the biggest rivalries, and this was back when I was in school 10 years ago, add 25 more years to that, is the Blue Ridge Sholo rivalry.
Right.
That has been a rival for years. That has been ugly.
I believe Sholo's first class was 73-74 or 74-75. So, but this one right here, Snowflake's been a public school since 1924, and Holbrook has been one of their nemesis. So it's been 100 years that these teams have matched up. 100 years.
That is crazy.
And you know, we talked about it in the last broadcast in the girls' game, the old gym. But so Rico makes his second free throw, 8-5 Lobo advantage as it goes out to Brock Irvin. And I was trying to, as it's knocked away, stolen by Vicente. As Randall, we've seen that offensive foul as an emphasis. And when I've talked to Coach Brogan about it, we saw it down there. I was surprised to not see that offensive. Mr. Chavez saw it. That's fine. He's way better at it than I am. But they have that half moon or half circle line in the NBA where it's not a charge, it's a block. And is that going to become the norm in high school ball in the next 10 years?
There's a lot of things that we can see coming up from the college and possibly in the NBA. And I'll be honest with you, I hope that they don't start getting too much politics into high school sports. High school sports is just it's such an awesome athletic event. I just don't want to see it corrupted over something silly.
We're going to go ahead and take a break here as Coach Domar Johnson calls the 36th time at the Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as the Roadrunners now going to take it out of bounds as Cummings is going to inbound the ball to Rico and Randall. Holbrook down 5, but they have just come up a little bit short on almost all their possessions.
They're just not getting all their buckets to go down.
As Basenti collides with Irvin there, gets the ball back. Now Basenti sent for Tapaha, now ends up in the hands of Rico. Rico guarded by Claire as Irvin and Tapaha kind of fall, and Irvin helps Tapaha up, and the Lobos get the steal with Claire, and Tapaha, being helped up by Irvin, ends up being the first one back to defend that play. And here come the runners, Basenti with the ball.
They have got to control those turnovers. The turnovers is going to hurt them.
Well, both teams have to, because even though that's not necessarily a turnover with Brewer right there, it's a layup that goes off and now ends up in the hands, and that's Basenti with the ball for the runners. So Basenti, Tapaha, Bia, Cummings, and Rico in the game for the Roadrunners. And one thing about Coach Delmar Johnson, there's that corner three, no good, rebound Irvin as Cummings puts it up, rebound Irvin. And Randall, that's the shot right there. If the Roadrunners get hot at, watch out, Lobos.
Is that corner three-point shot?
Is that corner
yes.
three-point shot in this gym. Whatever it is, the aura of Munoz Gym and Budenholzer Court here, that can make or break the game for the Roadrunners, and the visiting team is Irvin. He has about a 13-foot jumper, and he puts it in for 2 as the Lobos have 12-5 advantage as Tapaha with 4 points in the game, bringing down the ball, now kicks it over to Rico. Rico at the three-point line on the far side. Now Rico drives to his left, in over to, I believe that was Cummings. Basenti three-point, no good. Rebound, goes around a little. Brewer ends up with it. Now Brewer to Olberg. Olberg, we're going to get a whistle and we're going to get a foul. And that's on 32. That is Basenti. Gian Jones checking in for the Lobos. Checks in for, I believe that is Merrick Olberg he's checking in for. As Randall, this is what's fun here and talking about high school sports is this Tapaha Brewer matchup, because both of them play kind of the swingman top to bottom role, and that one's going to be fun. Brewer with maybe a slight advantage right now, but I looked at the change as there's a steal by Basenti. Now Tapaha with the ball. Rico to his left. Now Tapaha goes right, guarded by Jones. Tapaha over to Rico. Rico now in front of referee Greg Chavez Jr., guarded by Claire. Rico to his right, his left. Over in the far corner to Tom. Tom now spins, guarded by Brewer, over to Rico. Brewer switches back to defend Rico. Rico drives. That's out to Tom. Tom three-point shot. That's a Comfort Fit Denture three-point shot. Leighton Tom of the Holbrook Roadrunners.
And the Roadrunners are chasing 4. This is going to be a tight ball game all the way through.
I think so too, Randall, as Jones has it. Jones now to Irvin. Irvin goes to his right, being guarded very close by Bia. Now Claire over on the near side in front of the Holbrook bench. Claire goes to his right to Jones. Jones just past the free throw line jumper. That one's good. Gian Jones 4-2. 24 seconds left here. Shot clock is off for the quarter. 14-8. Advantage Lobos. Tapaha with the ball. Tapaha as he tries to throw it and intends it for Cummings. Brewer gets it, and Brewer kind of had it but then knocked it out of bounds, not to let Holbrook get that ball, but now Holbrook a chance to set up and possibly get that three-point shot or drive something under to Tapaha. As here goes Rico to his left, now at the top of the key. Rico's tripped, falls. Irvin dives for it. Irvin gets it now forward to Claire. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Claire goes up. It is good. Landon Claire, 2 points. His first 2 of the game. As we end the first quarter of this Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Today we're showing 2 beautiful cars and the savings that you can get on those this month. We have the 2024 Chevy Colorado LT 4x4. We can save you $3,100 this month, giving you a new sale price of $41,735. Next, we have a 2025 Chevy LT Trailblazer. We can save you $1,500 with a new sale price of $24,530. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy store that saves you more.
Welcome back to Show Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. I'd like to give a shout out to the Holbrook student section in full force tonight. All dressed up, these themed games that you and I never saw when we were in high school.
Nope.
And Randall, let's talk a little bit Munoz Gym, Budenholzer Court, but a little bit of renovations taking place. We got some new lighting, we got new bleachers, and we got a new playing surface.
They did an amazing job here. And they started this last year, right after basketball season. They came in, they tore up the floor, they took out the old wood bleachers that have been in this gym for years. I think from the day that they built the gym. And now they've got these beautiful red and blue.
Although those wooden bleachers were loud.
They were very loud. Very loud.
Holbrook ends up with the ball. That's over to Tom. And I could not tell who that was. That's Cummings. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound Lobos. This was, and I mean, I remember watching some of when, as we get a carry, and obvious carry on Landon Clare, so you're going to be whistled for it. As I remember when Coach Andy Wood coached the Lobos, and it was Coach Mendoza of the Runners, and Coach Mendoza had those couple years where he had some strong teams, and then Coach Wood had some strong teams, but it didn't matter if Holbrook was up and Snowflake was down, or Snowflake was up and Holbrook was down. When they came to this gym, it was going to be a battle.
It was, absolutely.
3-point shot, no good. And Randall, that's the shot I keep saying is Cummings puts that up, it's no good. Clare with the ball, doubled up right now as Clare gets it over to Jones. Jones now to Asher Brewer, back to Irvin. Irvin driving in the key. Now over to the far side to Brewer. Brewer brings it up to the free throw line. Now back to Irvin. Irvin now pushes into Brewer. Brewer open shot, layup, no good. He gets his own rebound. He puts it back up. This one's going to fall good for Asher Brewer for 2. Vicente bringing up the ball. And Randall, if you're the runners, as Salaby's getting ready to check in, Randall, if you're the runners, you've got to get Tapaha involved in this game.
Got to get him more involved. You got to get him that open shot.
You mean the one that just went, Randall? They're listening to us. The phones are listening.
The phones are listening.
As Tapaha
yes.
drives the lane and puts in a right-handed bucket, beautiful bucket. As we get another carry by Landon Clare and Randall. We've got to talk about what is being seen there and why we're calling that a carry and why it's being defined. I know it seems obvious, but you got to help us define that there.
So what they're looking at, and it's called the handshake or south pole. If they're dribbling the ball and their hand looks like you can shake hands with them, you got nothing. But if they go from the south pole, so the bottom part of that ball, and they bring it around, that's where you're getting your carry.
And so a lot of these point guards, that's just natural with the ball, maybe not understanding the bounce of the court. They just get in that position, so it's happening as Tapaha gets the inbound. Randall, that is his 8th point of the game. Tyler Tapaha, as the Lobos' lead is cut to 6, Clare with the ball.
And this is what Coach Clare was talking about. They're going to have to shut him down and keep him out of this, but he is always finding a way to get that ball to drop.
As Brewer gets the ball and Brewer drives, and he's going to put it in for 2. As we're going to whistle, we're going to timeout for Coach Clare. We're going to go ahead and take it to the Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
To the captains.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as Coach Clare takes a 30-second timeout up 20-12. And after the bucket by Brewer, Roadrunners will take the ball out, and they're going to send down Cummings. As Roadrunners inbound the ball, Vicente now with the ball. As Tapaha goes in, no good, and it's going to be lost as he gives it to Salaby. Salaby loses it. We're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a timeout. And Coach Clare's going to go ahead and take that timeout. We're going to take it as well as Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Show Fort's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Snowflake Lobos are going to inbound the ball after a savvy timeout by Coach Clare to maintain possession as Landon Clare is going to inbound the ball. Clare is going to go over the top to Aiden Kaur. Aiden Kaur is going to run it a little bit. Aiden Kaur to Brewer. Brewer puts it up left side, right hand. As Brewer puts up another two. That's going to be Salaby. Salaby drives. That's going to be good. Salaby. That's going to be his first points of the game. Chase Salaby helping get his team and keep his team right back in it as Clare now goes down the court, guarded by Cummings. Clare just under the free throw line. Clare goes, puts it up. Smart shot by Clare as Tapaha is going to be whistled for the foul. Tapaha looking to Coach Delmar Johnson, giving the signal he carried that ball. And I didn't see it that time. Now that you talk about shaking hands, South Pole, it makes a lot more sense. As Clare's first free throw is no good.
Well, an official, Leroy, is over there talking to Delmar and explaining the side hand, the handshake, or the south pole on the carry because he thought that was a carry.
As Clare's second free throw is good, and I had never heard it explained the way you did, and I think that hopefully helps some of our viewers out. We do appreciate all you folks watching at home. As Tapaha gets the ball guarded by Kaur. Now he sends it out to Tom. Tom over to, that's Salaby. As I didn't see who put that one in. Do you know who put that one in?
I did not. I was right in the middle of a sneeze.
As Clare goes in, puts it in, it's no good. Clare gets his own rebound out to Oberg. Now Aiden Kaur shoots a three-point shot, it's no good. Rebound, top on Brewer, fight for it, but Tapa ultimately ends up with it. As I'm just going to give those, I got some clarification. It looks like 42 Tapaha got those points for the Roadrunners. As Tapaha now drives, he's guarded by Irvin. Now over to Salaby, back to Tom. Here's Tapaha. Tapaha brings it to the top of the key, guarded by Irvin. Now he goes to his left, tries to drive. Salaby with the ball, back out to Tapaha. Tapaha, three-point shot. Three-point shot, that one's good. That is Tyler Tapaha.
And that's what Joe Clare was talking about. They've got to shut that three-point down from him.
Well, he kind of does it all. As Aiden Kaur is going to drive, he's guarded by Vicente. It's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be the Roadrunner. Salaby with the rebound. As that's going to be Vicente bringing the ball down for the Runners. Over to Tapaha. Tapaha chips out, tips off his hand and goes. Gian Jones checks in for Asher Brewer. Coach Clare giving Asher Brewer a break here in the second quarter. 3 minutes and 49 seconds left. And we started it awfully late tonight. Irvin sends it over, and there's a miscommunication, and now Salaby gets it back for the Roadrunners. Salaby back to Tapaha. Tapaha over in the corner to Vicente. Vicente fakes a three, drives, now gives it to Salaby. Salaby has it knocked away. And Irvin tried to throw it forward for Jones, but Tapaha's right back there to get it. Great defense. Tom with the ball. Tom to Tapaha. Tapaha guarded by Kaur. To his right, to his left. He goes, he puts it up. That's going to be no good. Rebound Jones. Jones now bringing it forward. Jones to Irvin. Irvin over to Kaur. Kaur, three-point shot. No good. Rebound. Bia. Travis Bia with the rebound. I'm starting to get these Holbrook players. Tapa with the ball over to Vicente. Vicente now on the near side in front of the Snowflake bench. Clare comes up on him to guard. Vicente over, back to the middle. Now he goes over to the far side. Left, right. Clare backs off. Now Clare comes close. Into Salaby. Salaby guarded by Jones. Over to Bia. Back to Vicente. Now to Tom. Tom over to Vicente. Vicente, three-point shot. That one.
Off the glass.
That one is going to be good. Jaron Vicente.
And here come the Runners. They're 1 point differential. This is exactly what we're talking about. You cannot count anybody out in high school sports because it can switch on a dime.
As Clare comes down, passes it to Jones. Jones comes inside the three-point, takes about an 18-foot jumper, good. Now the Roadrunners come back. They send it down the court to Bia. Bia puts in a quick 2 points. 25-24, Lobo's up. Here comes Aiden Kaur with the ball. Kaur has it, intended for Jones, has it knocked away. As Salaby gets it, now Vicente has it to Tapaha inside, and that's going to put Salaby up for 2, and the Roadrunners are up on top.
Now Coach Clare was questioning why it wasn't backcourt when he stepped over the line and then came back. Let me explain that real quick. There has to be all 3 points that cross that line. It's got to be both feet and the ball. If 1 foot in the ball and 1 foot over the line, and he steps back in, you don't have backcourt. You have to get all 3 points across to get that violation.
So here's Basenti down now because of Brock Irvin's layup. Basenti sends it over to Salaby. Salaby over to Bia. Bia back to Basenti over on the near side. Inside to Tapaha. Back to Basenti. Corner 3-point shot.
And here it goes. The threes are starting to sink, Huey.
That's Basenti, and that's what was dangerous, and that's what we said. Here's Jones. Jones to Clare. Randall, that's exactly what we said was going to be the difference in the game. As Irvin doesn't seem to be fazed by that at all. Irvin comes and pops in. We have a 29-29 ball game, Randall. We're a minute left in the half.
This is anybody's ball game at this point.
Anybody's, absolutely. Tapaha brings the ball. He sends it over to Tom. Tom's over on the near side. Now Clare steps up to guard him. Tom goes to his left, over to Salaby. Salaby left, right, guarded by Jones. Now to the middle to Bia. Bia intends it for Tom, but it's knocked away. Clare takes it. Clare goes for a fast layup. Clare has it knocked away, and that's going to stay. Going to go out of bounds. 38 seconds left. Shot clock still a factor.
Hey, while we're dealing with an out of bounds, let's do a quick shout out to the law enforcement that's making a present here tonight. We do have Holbrook's finest and NCSO's finest standing down on the south end of the court, just because they want to make sure we don't have another incident like we did last Tuesday.
As we appreciate them and their efforts in being here, and they're watching a heck of a ball game. As Gian Jones gets caught with the double dribble, ball goes back to the Roadrunners. Basenti's going to inbound to Tom. So Basenti now brings the ball. He steps it over the time sharp. He's going to be met. Oberg backs off a little into Tapaha, guarded by Irvin. Tapaha inside, outside. He sends it out to Tom. Tom now goes to his left, over to Basenti. Basenti now goes to his left, inside to Tapaha. Tapaha guarded by Irvin. Tapaha goes up. He puts up a hard shot. No good. Rebound. Rebound, Bia. Bia doesn't knock out of bounds. 15 seconds left. Shot clock is now off. Ball belongs to the Lobos.
It just slipped out of his hands. He just didn't have good control.
Jones inbounds to Brewer. Brewer sends to Clare. Clare slowing it down a little. 10 seconds now. 9 seconds to Brewer. Brewer over to Oberg. Oberg takes the drive. Oberg puts up about an 8-foot jumper. No good. Rebound, Tapaha. 2 seconds. 1 second. Tapaha throws it up, and that's going to be no good. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and give you our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Love sports? Love being part of the action? Imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you love sports, love being part of the action, imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word sports to 928-434-0101 to apply now. Don't just watch the game, be the voice of it. Your dream job is calling.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Welcome back. folks. Show Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. It is now time for our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. Randall, overall thoughts on the first half, and then we'll delve into some statistics.
Overall, what an amazing game. Holbrook was down a few points. I believe it was 5 points, and they were
16 to 8. They were down 8.
They were down 8 at one point. Okay. I just remember the 5 points there in the beginning where it was 5-10.
Right.
But here we go. Everything that Joe Clare stated that his team needed to do, he has been unable to do.
The team has been unable to do.
The team has. Right. That's correct. And they're gonna have to do the same thing when they come out of halftime. They're gonna have to control Tapaha.
Well,
they're gonna have to control his 3 points.
Let's look at that. Well, you keep your point, and I'm gonna total it up here.
And then the other one that hits the corner threes, Basenti. They're gonna have to match up on him to keep those from happening as well.
Tapaha has 13 points. That's just under half his team's points. So that's a good evening good night for him. As the Lobos, Irvin has 10, Brewer has 10. And the scoring's gone pretty even for both of those. But I think Holbrook is going to have to find a way to put a little more pressure. They're going to have to find a way to put a little more pressure because a lot of those Lobo points have come off fast breaks. Holbrook's have been hard points.
Correct. And I think what Holbrook also needs to do is they also need to put a little bit more pressure on Clare. Clare has been kind of doing some
Clare doesn't have the point total, but what Clare has is the ability to pass things around, and that's what he's done well.
That's correct.
And so, Irvin and Brewer are tied for the Lobos, but Tapa with 13, he's the game scorer. And again, everything that they needed to do, they have not done to be able to stop him. So, okay, we got to go forward with this now, Randall. Let's play coach now. If you're Coach Clare, if you're Coach Johnson, what are you saying to your team? And then what is your strategy going to be?
If I'm Coach Johnson, I'm going to tell my team in the locker room that they have got to be able to get the rebounds and get back on D quickly. Get back on D. Let's control the tempo of this game. Whoever controls this game obviously is going to win this ball game, and that's an apparent thing.
So flip it and tell us about Coach Clare.
And then Joe Clare, he's got two main players, which I mentioned earlier. Those two players could possibly come back out of halftime and be hot. They could be on fire, and they could dominate this game, and they're going to have to take them out of the equation if they think or want to stay in this ball game.
Well, if I'm Basenti and I'm in the corner, I'm shooting a three. If I'm open, I'm shooting a three. There's no doubt in my mind that he can make that. He's made two of them, and they were critical to get them back in the game. So I kind of look for that. I think that matchup with Tapaha and Brewer, watching them rebound has been kind of fun to go at it underneath. It's been a good ball game.
Yes.
But somebody just made a half-court shot.
And won a blanket.
Looks like kind of a nice blanket there. Although, the way this temperature is in this gym tonight, I'm not really thinking blanket, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no.
As it was always nice seeing the half-court shot. So, I don't want to go out on a limb, but I'm kind of going to, Randall, and I'm going to tell you this right now. I think the Roadrunners will go as Tapaha goes. If he keeps fighting, and I'm not saying even making the points, if he sticks in that game and keeps being the tough inside-outside that he is, they put themselves at a huge advantage.
Correct.
If he buckles just a little bit, whether it be points, because we saw some defense out of him that was incredible, I think Lobos have the advantage. The other thing is Basenti has got to take that open shot in the corner. He has to.
Yes, so, he's got to stay hot. He's got to stay on fire on those shots.
Best thing for the Lobos was him to go to halftime and kind of cool him off a little bit. But Folks, 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. We're going to come back and we're going to give you the end of our post-game, or excuse me, our halftime show. So we're going to go ahead and take a little break. We're going to come back for second half action. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we conclude our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just for the Honda Casino. We'd also like to thank all our sponsors. Sholo Ford sponsoring our overall game tonight. Summit Regional Medical Center. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Ace Hardware with our keys to the game, and boy, we were right on those keys tonight. And then we also have our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College. Comfort Fit Dentures with our three-pointers tonight. We look for the Roadrunners to put down a few more of those on the evening. Honda Ski and Outdoor, I just mentioned in our halftime show. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside for quality glass at affordable prices, hands down. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside, 1-888-GLASSMAN. Horn Auto Center with our drive of the game. And our player of the game tonight is going to be sponsored by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Patron our sponsors, folks. They keep these broadcasts going and allow myself to come and sit on the mic and talk a little whatever sport we're covering and giving the youth of the White Mountains some great coverage. And we appreciate all our sponsors making these possible. Also, our production crew. We cannot say enough about all of them. RJ is our producer tonight. We got Daniel on the camera. I believe our other photographer tonight is Jeff, just doing a fantastic job. And we have a few of those, but we appreciate all that they're doing. And folks, we got second half action here. So we're going to start with our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. That's Northland Pioneer College, locations in Navajo and Apache counties. Now offering bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College. The alternating possession dictates that the Lobos will inbound the ball, and number 0, Landon Clare, will inbound the ball to Merrick Oberg. Oberg's going to be met by Bia. Oberg's going to drive in. That's going to be no good. Salaby with the rebound. Salaby now to Tapaha. Back to Tom. Leighton Tom's going to bring the ball forward. Tom's going to be seemingly met by Landon Clare at half court. Now Tom goes to his right. Tom into Tapaha. Tapaha over to Vicente. Vicente saves it. That goes to Bia. Bia to Tapaha. To Salaby. Inside to Vicente. Now to Tapaha. Over to Tom. Over to Vicente. Back to Tom. Tom Vicente now in front of the Holbrook bench. Vicente goes to his right. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Vicente to Tapaha. Tapaha goes to his right, being guarded by Kaur. In the corner now to Salaby. To Tom. And we're going to have Tom with a shot. That's going to be no good. Rebound is going to be Salaby. Salaby rebounds, misses it. Rebounds, misses it. He's going to go up for a rebound. And we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a foul. And that's going to be on number 11, Brock Irvin of the Lobos. And Randall, I think that's his second personal, first team, 29-29, Vicente to inbound.
Well, it's been a low foul game so far.
It has, and that's why the game's gone fast. The girls' game went a little long with that fourth quarter, which started our boys' game late, but we've definitely somewhat made up for that because we're barely 40 minutes into this game.
Wow.
Holbrook with the ball. Tom now. Tom to Tapaha. Tapaha driving to his right now. Back to Pacenti. Pacenti three-point shot. No good. Rebound. Asher Brewer. Asher Brewer and Salvi go up. Brewer kicks it off his leg. That's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to belong to the Roadrunners. Turnover Lobos, and they got to eliminate those turnovers, Mr. Anselmo.
That is what Holbrook is going to capitalize on. They are going to capitalize on these turnovers from Snowflake, and if Snowflake wants to have any chance, now granted, we're 29-29 at this point.
It is still tied, correct.
And Snowflake's not out of this by any stretch.
As the ball's given to Tapaha, as Coor slips, but inside missed. Rebound, Irvin. Irvin forward to Olberg. Olberg drives it up and then puts it off, no good. Irvin gets the rebound. Irvin tries to put it back, no good. Now it's on the ball, on the ground, and we have a loose ball, and it's going to stay for the Lobos, saying the runners knocked it out. But, Randall, I'm going to agree with that one because Mr. Chavez was right there to tell us where that went out.
You know.
And Coor to inbound. Coor now to Brewer. Brewer about a 16-foot outside jumper. It's going to be no good. Rebound, Pacenti. And, Randall, one of the things you mentioned earlier that we haven't said on the air we want to give some props is as that's forward to Bia, and Bia puts it up and in, and that's going to be a lead for the runners, is out of our three officials tonight, we have two state championship caliber officials.
That's correct, yes.
As Mr. Lang and Mr. Chavez have done state championship games.
That is correct, and Mr. Chavez had the I want to say the state 4A championship. No,
as Pacenti puts up a three-point shot, and that's a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer. I think he did a couple years ago.
He, Mr. Paul Hancock got the 4A championship last year, and Greg Chavez got the 3A state championship last year as well.
Claire goes up, misses, and one thing that I've heard officials say, and they say to the teams beforehand, as Tapaha is going to put up a jumper, and that's going to be good. And Holbrook's on a run right now. I look for Coach Claire possibly to call a timeout as Holbrook's up 7 now. He calls a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back, Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. As we were talking about officials here, and one of the things that I've heard many officials say is they'll talk to players about pregame and stuff, and they'll say, "What's the last game you want to be playing in?" Well, the state championship. Well, that's the last game we want to be officiating in, so we've got to do some stuff. That's a beautiful pass from Landon Clare into Gian Jones, and the Lobos just kind of gonna hang around and choose to do is they're down 5. So we appreciate the crew coming in. As there's a pass to Pacenti, but Brewer steps in the middle of it. Brewer now forward to Olberg. Olberg into Irvin. Irvin puts a layup in. That's going to be for Brock Irvin for 2 points.
Snowflake's chasing 3 at this point, Huey.
They are, and at 36-33 is Pacenti with the ball. Pacenti now goes to the 28-foot line in the middle to Tapaha. Tapaha to his right. Tapaha now guarded by Brewer. Brewer to Pacenti. Pacenti three-point shot. That one's going to fall. Jaron Pacenti for a three-pointer, a Comfort Fit Dentures three-pointer as we're now halfway through this third quarter. Brewer with the ball. Brewer now to Jones. It's picked away. Vicente had it, but now it goes to Brewer. And I thought we might get a fresh shot clock, but he must not have possession long enough to switch it over. As now we're into Brewer. Brewer gets an easy layup, easy look. He puts it in for 2, Asher Brewer. As now Vicente bringing up the ball, get from Tapaha. And Randall, I'm noticing that Holbrook is looking a little bit tired.
They are.
As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get officials timeout as the net's down because of that monster 3 from Vicente, which when an official's timeout, do they allow a check-in to happen?
Yes.
Okay. So Coors going to check in the game for Brewer. 39-35. Roadrunners up 4 as they inbound the ball. As Vicente gives it to Tom. Tom to his left. Now inside to Tapaha. Tapaha at the free throw line. Looking. Now gives it to Vicente. Vicente drives. He's going to be fouled. It's going to be on the ground. That's going to be Lobo's second team. And the foul is going to go against Aiden Kaur, his second. Cummings checking in for Tom. As Tom Bia, Cummings, Salaby, and I'm trying to see Vicente on the court. As Kaur forward with the pass. Kaur had an open look but chose to give it off to Irvin, who gets an easy layup. Brock Irvin for 2. And Brock Irvin getting a lot of easy buckets, but also a lot of contested bucket. As here's Vicente. Tapaha trying to set the screen on Kaur. Vicente dribbling around it. Now back to Tapaha, guarded by Irvin. Tapaha inside. He's going to spin. He's going to be knocked and he's going to be whistled. And Randall, he's tripped up, but it's called a travel. Looking at our replay, what did you see there?
Well, I didn't get. I think he got his feet entangled with the opponent. I don't see anything to justify a foul. It looks like a travel to me. I think that's a great call.
As Claire brings up the ball, Claire over to Jones, now to Kaur, back to Irvin. Irvin into Merrick Olberg, and Merrick's going to get the ball taken away, and that's going to be taken away by Tapaha playing great defense. As now Olberg tries to seal it. Now Tapaha bringing it, not slowing it down any. Forget what I said about Holbrook being tired as he goes inside. Salaby off, no good. Salaby with an open look there, tried to go backwards on it. Now Holbrook pressing Jones. Jones with the ball over to Claire. Now back to Jones. Jones to Irvin. Irvin to Kaur. That's no good. 3-point as Jones and Rico battle for it. We haven't seen a lot of Rico this half. As now Tapaha over in the corner. I believe that's Vicente. No good. Rebound is Salaby. Whistle and a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it to the Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think
of high school basketball on italk1067.com, as the Snowflake Lobos have somehow climbed back in from that 7-point deficit to be down 2 with 1:59 left in a pivotal third quarter, but the Holbrook Roadrunners still holding on to the lead as Vicente is nailed 2 Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointers. Vicente with the ball. The possession arrow does favor the runners as he intends it for Tapaha. Now it's knocked away by the Lobos. Irvin with the steal. Now to Jones. Jones forward to Brewer. Brewer now has it stolen by Salaby. Salaby into Tapaha, intended for Tapaha. We're going to get a whistle. We're getting an offensive foul on Salaby. I did not actually see what happened.
Well, let's take a quick. Can we get that on replay? Let's take a look.
I'm not sure we were able to get that one, but it looked like after he went forward and kind of, as position was established, he kind of leaned forward and put it in as Jones now has the ball inside to Brewer. Brewer goes kicked away. Salaby to Tapaha, back to Vicente, excuse me. Rico and Bia rounding out the runners.
So to help that out, I do know that was on a pass, so he might have went into him on that pass, and even if he doesn't have the ball, it still can be an offensive charge even if it's a pass and not necessarily going for a bucket.
There's Tapaha with about an 18-foot jumper. It's going to be no good. It's going to go out of bounds, and the officials confer. And that's going to belong to the Lobos in the Holbrook student section. Not very happy. But again, got to agree with the call. Excuse me, you don't have to agree with it, but you got to live with it. Irvin ball back to Jones. Jones now to Core. Core to the top. Core going left, going right. Now to Irvin, back to Core. Core now driving the lane, contested by Taha. Taha, he puts it up. That's going to be Aiden Core, and that's going to be Aiden's 4th point of the game. And it's going to be a big one because he goes to the line, Randall, for a chance at an and one. Just under a minute left here in this third quarter. 39-39, both teams with 10 in the third quarter. Chance for Core to put up that 11th.
So I will tell you, Leroy Thomas, who was the calling official, the lead official on that last out of bounds, he did not get a good view, so he went to Brian Lang and conferred and asked for help to make sure that he got the call right of which direction they were going to bring that ball in, and Mr. Lang helped on that.
Well, the other thing I like is this is going to go in the corner to Rico. That's going to be a 3-point by Salaby. That's good. Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer puts Holbrook up 2. 30 seconds left. And Mr. Lang knew exactly who that was out on because he 100% pointed at that.
He was the center official on that particular play and had a great view.
Ball intended for Brewer, stolen. Now Vicente has it back to Tapaha. Tapaha looking left, looking right, guarded by Core. Shot clock is off. 16 seconds, 15 seconds. Holbrook looking like they're going to go for the last shot, up 2. As Tapaha to Rico. Rico now to Vicente. Vicente had Tapaha backing up open, but it's no good. Now the ball is stolen. Core throws it up for a long court shot. That's going to be no good. As are we going to get time put back on, or are they going to call that out? We're going to just go ahead and take a break. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Love presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we start the fourth quarter with the Holbrook Roadrunners up 42-40 on the Snowflake Lobos. The last 8 minutes here. Snowflake with 2 timeouts, Holbrook with 3. As Vicente's going to inbound the ball, he looks for, that is Rico. Rico now guarded by Claire. Rico at the 28-foot line, now goes to his right. Guarded by Claire, pushes off Claire. Now Rico puts up a 3-point shot, and that's going to be good. As Manny Rico puts up a 3-point shot, and that gives Holbrook a 5-point lead. As now Jones has it. Jones over to Core. Core now goes to his left, looking for Brewer inside. Brewer guarded by Vicente. Brewer turns around and puts about a 9-foot jumper. No good. Brewer tries to go get his own rebound, but Salaby ends up with it. Now forward to Tapaha. And Randall Tapaha with 2 points in that quarter kind of went a little silent, but Vicente with 2 monster 3-pointers. Vicente with 12 points on the night, all Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointers.
Yes.
As Rico now goes, guarded by Claire. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a hand on, and that's going to go against Rico, and that's going to be the first team foul of the quarter for the runners. And Randall, those team fouls we're going to have to watch ever so close because it may come down to that as Claire inbounds it to Jones.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I'm not taking stats, so I don't know what the percentage is.
I don't have percentages, I have scores. There's Jones with the 3. No good. Rebound, Vicente. Go ahead, Randall, to your point.
I was just trying to point on, I don't know what the percentages from the line for both teams are. So in this, even if it's a 5-point ball game right now, it could come down to free throws.
Well,
so you're right. They have to be very careful with their
It's
foul.
funny because I do have that stat. Snowflake shot 3 free throws. Holbrook has shot 4. If you can believe that.
Wow.
Here's Brewer. Brewer has it knocked away, and that's going to be, I believe, Bia knocks that away. As Brock Irvin's going to check in the game for the Lobos. He's going to check in for Gian Jones. Cour to inbound. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left, and Randall, that first minute and 40 flew by. As now Cour sends it into Jones. Jones now crosses over the time stripe. Now Jones on the near side to his bench. And there's the ball to Irvin. Irvin has it knocked away as Tapaha gets it. Now Tapaha has it stolen by Jones. Jones guarded by Vicente. Jones forward to Cour. Cour with the 3-point. That's a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer for Aiden Cour. And that's Snowflake's first points of the quarter as it's forward to Vicente. And that is a monster block by Asher Brewer, and that's going to be in line for our glass man of the game is Asher Brewer. Cour has it stolen by Vicente. Vicente goes down, easy layup. That's going to be good for Vicente for 2 points. As 47-43, 4-point advantage for.
Now, I've been watching the coaches on this, and Dell from Holbrook is pushing his boys up and down the court. He is pushing them.
Merrick Goldberg just puts up a 3-point shot, and the Holbrook crowd let him know that he didn't touch anything. And I think Coach Clare thought it might be tipped, but he knows it wasn't, and he kind of gave a look to Merrick like, you just airballed it. Come on, let's not do that. 47-43, 5 minutes and 15 seconds left. Here's Tapaha, guarded by Cour. Tapaha left, right. Now he holds the ball, goes to Vicente. Vicente now gets a screen from Bia. Brewer comes out now on Vicente. Vicente to Tapaha. Tapaha gets an advantage on Cour, but doesn't take it. Sends it into Bia. Bia kisses it off the glass for 2 points, 49-43.
And Snowflake is chasing 6.
Brewer with the ball. Brewer back to Irvin. Into Merrick Goldberg. Merrick drives, and we're going to get a whistle, and that's got to be an on-the-ground foul. That's going to be Holbrook's second team foul, as I believe they're actually going to call that on Tom. Was that 11, or did they call that on Bia? It hasn't flashed up yet.
11.
It was on Tom. No, Rico, excuse me, I'm sorry. Cour to inbound for the Lobos. Cour. I forgot to mention, folks, this is our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off the college with the lowest tuition in the state. Northland Pioneer College, locations in Navajo, Apache County, now offering degrees, bachelor's degrees in business and education. Northland Pioneer College. As Snowflake with the turnover, throwing it out of bounds. And Randall, they're chasing 6, but points are precious this quarter so far.
Well, and here's the thing. We're coming up on the halfway mark in the fourth quarter, and Snowflake cannot afford to turn the ball over at this point, because Holbrook will take advantage of it.
Here's Rico over to Vicente. Vicente left to right. Now Vicente looking. We're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout. As I'm not sure how that works. He called timeout, but it's so that's going to be we're going to take it, folks. Show Ford's presentation of high school basketball. Actually, you know what? We're going to keep it here because I want to have Randall explain. It has to be, we can't just give an official timeout because you don't know what the status. So explain that process.
Okay,
there.
so what's going on is Delmar used up one of his timeouts to talk to Mr. Lang about a call, and he wanted to get more clarification that he couldn't get while the game was going on because the official, obviously his attention's on the court.
Well, the young man called timeout here and was like holding his contact lens. And that's what I saw look like. And so, but you just can't call a official timeout because then you hold up the game and it's advantage to that team.
No, and I disagree with that. And the reason I disagree with that is because if it's a safety issue, us as officials, we have to shut the game down.
Okay.
And we have to make sure that there was no immediate play or basket getting ready to happen. But if we have a safety, we as officials can stop the game on an official timeout so that we can rectify what the problem is.
But nonetheless, they used a timeout, so each team has 2 timeouts. And the ball was thrown out of bounds, so now it's the Lobos. That's going to be Court inbounding to Jones. Jones bringing it up the court. Now Jones slips and gets back up. As Claire goes. That's Claire to Brewer. Now Brewer's now going to get whistled, and we're going to get a foul, but it's on the ground, but it is Holbrook's 3rd team.
Now that player came up without bouncing the ball. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I might have missed something.
I don't know what our advantage was because I was blocked from it. I don't know how you saw it, but nonetheless, call, no call, whatever it was, as Coeur goes and puts it in, and that's going to be no good. Irvin has it. Irvin loses it but gets it back from Coeur. Brewer tries to drive. Brewer misses it, gets his own rebound, puts it back, misses it again. Vicente now with the ball to Tapaha. Rico, Vicente, Tapaha, Salabi, and Cummings. No. Bia on the court for the runners. Here's Vicente. Vicente left, right. Now to Rico. Rico drives. Rico scoops it up. 2 points, Manny Rico. And the Lobos with an 8-point deficit. Holbrook up 8, and it's starting to become a little bleak if you're a Lobo faithful. They're having a rough time as we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout. The Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Sports? Love being part of the action? Imagine having the best seat in the house, calling the plays, and connecting with fans. As a play-by-play announcer, you'll be the voice that brings the excitement to life. You'll network with athletes and coaches, sharpen your skills, and even travel to exciting venues. It's your chance to turn your passion for sports into a thrilling career. Ready to make it happen? Text the word sports to 928-434-0101 to apply now. Don't just watch the game, be the voice of it. Your dream job is calling.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Shola Forge presentation of high school basketball. The Lobos inbounded. Jones sent it down, attempted a 3. It's no good. Now the ball ends up the Roadrunners. Don't forget we have our Deemer's Glass postgame show. We're going to have our Deemer's Glass last man of the game. Need glass for your home or business? Need it at an affordable price? Deemer's Glass is the best place to call, hands down. When you need glass, 188 Glassman. Don't forget our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game and our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. If you're looking for a car, go to Horn Auto Center.
Horn Auto Center has got great cars. Not only that, I live in Holbrook, so I don't have to drive my car to come over here. I can actually walk. And I've also noticed tonight at Huey that the floor seems to be a little bit more glossier, so they might have mapped the floors a little bit.
I agree. They mapped it real good, and it's got a nice tacky feel to it. Lobos go up and in. That's Landon Clare with the bucket. And that goes into Tapaha. Irvin almost had it. Tapaha comes up short on that end. And Randall, we got to start. We have our drive. We've got a couple drives. As Clare misses it, it gets nothing but net, but does not go through the iron hoop or the steel hoop.
Well, Snowflake is chasing 6. We got just a little over 90 seconds.
But they haven't had a foul called, so they're not going to be able to put Holbrook at the line like they want with a chance, to get the ball back. There's Rico. Now it's stolen. Here comes Irvin. Irvin and Clare 2-on-2. As we're going to get a whistle, no foul, and that's going to be on the ground, so that's going to belong to the Lobos. So, Randall, we got to think about that. Deemer's Glass man of the game. And I've got a couple ideas. Horn Auto Center drive of the game, and our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game. And I don't think we have a clear-cut player of the game yet because this game isn't over with.
No.
Although Although I'm telling you, Jaron Basenti is looking pretty good for that one. As the ball goes into Claire, Claire puts it up for 2 points.
You know, they might have waxed the floor here. Make it a little bit better. But here comes Holbrook. Holbrook's back at their end of the court.
Here's Tapaha being guarded by Brewer. Brewer down 4, and the Lobos down 4. And that's a straight-up Salaby. 2 easy points. And we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout. That's going to be taken by the Roadrunners. The Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Today we're showing 2 beautiful cars and the savings that you can get on those this month. We have the 2024 Chevy Colorado LT 4x4. We can save you $3,100 this month, giving you a new sale price of $41,735. Next, we have a 2025 Chevy LT Trailblazer. We can save you $1,500 with a new sale price of $24,530. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy store that saves you more.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At
Claire over to Core. Core puts up a 3-point shot, and that's going to be good for a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point shot. Aiden Core. Basenti with the ball to Tapaha. 37 seconds left, 53-50. As Tapaha being guarded by Claire. Now out to Basenti. There is a difference, about 10 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. Basenti goes to his right, and he's going to be fouled by Urban. And that's going to be the first team foul committed by the Lobos this quarter. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to time out Randall. We're going to go ahead and keep it here, and we're going to talk a little bit about our post-game show and some of our thoughts, because our glass man of the game, we've got options on all these tonight. We have some great drives. We have the series of three-pointers put together by Basenti to put the Roadrunners up a little bit. We have Brock Irvin, Tyler Tapaha, we have Jaron Basenti with our glass man and our player of the game. So those are things we got to be thinking about. We're going to run down our sponsors, folks. Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Honda Ski and Outdoor, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, Summit Regional Medical Center, Comfort Fit Dentures, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Those are our sponsors, and we appreciate them and everything we do. I appreciate all our production crew for coming together and making this game possible. I appreciate Mr. Anselmo walking over from across the street to help us out tonight, and just a good night of basketball as Holbrook
Yeah, it's accurate.
53-50, Roadrunners on top. The shot clock is off. We have a foul by Irvin, and I think that might be Irvin's 4th or 5th. That is his 4th. As we get a whistle, and Merrick Olberg is going to check in for Irvin. 24 seconds. Shot clock again is off. Basenti inbounds to Tapaha. As Tapaha has it knocked away, and we have another foul by Merrick Olberg, as Snowflake's just trying to get the ball back, and they had a very good chance to knock that inbound, as they keep looking over here to see if Coach Johnson wants timeout, but he's letting his boys just play some ball. Tapaha with the inbound from Basenti. Olberg with the foul. That's the 4th team foul. So Basenti to inbound again. 19 seconds left. Offensive foul on Tyler Tapaha. And I saw what he did. I wasn't sure if that was going to get a call. I wasn't sure even the breakdown on that one. But the Lobos, they have no timeouts left. Do they go for the 3 here, Randall?
They're going to have to if they want to take this into overtime and have a chance to win.
As Coor drives, he puts it up. That's no good. As we're going to get a whistle, we're going to get a foul. And Coor saw that open lane, took it in. Unfortunately for him, came up a bit short. That's going to put the Roadrunners to the line, and I believe that's Tapaha going to shoot a couple free throws. Now, Randall, Tapaha scoreless in this quarter. Great job for the Lobos, but you had Rico just step up. As Coor has hit 2 threes this quarter, Tapaha's going to go to the line and shoot a couple. And again, this is only Holbrook's 7th and 8th free throw of the night. The Lobos have shot 3. Tapaha misses his first one, 8 seconds left. Irvin is now in for Olberg. So
now, if you can't, if our fans at home can't hear, it is almost deafening in this, and you can't hear the buzzer from the scoreboard.
Tapaha's second free throw is good. Lobo's down 4. 8 seconds left. Here comes Claire. As Coor throws up a prayer, no good. Rebound Claire. Claire puts it back, no good. And that's going to end the game as the Roadrunners on their home court have defeated the Snowflake Lobos by a score of 54-50. As we're going to segue right in to our post-game show. So Randall, our first thing we got to give out is our glass man of the game, and I'm going to vote, but I want you to give a thought too. I'm going to vote for Tyler Tapaha. He was the leading point getter, but I think glass man defined his night tonight.
He played exceptional ball. Now, he wasn't on his A game tonight, but he played exceptional basketball tonight to take the Roadrunners to a 54-50 win ball game tonight.
I credit the defense that the Lobos played on him with Brewer and with Irvin and with Coor, even Claire hopping out on him. So Tyler Tapaha, he had, let's see, 4, 6, 8, 10, 16 points. So he was our high point man for both teams. However, I've got to give, well, let's go to our drive of the game. And we have both Asher Brewer at 6:19 with that beautiful scoop underneath for our Horn Auto Center drive of the game, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. And again, we got Deemer's Glass, our glass man of the game, Tyler Tapaha. Need glass for your home or business. Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Call Deemer's Glass, 1-888-GLASSMAN. Now, Randall, parting thoughts before we give our player of the game, our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass player of the game. What are some parting thoughts for both these teams? Because obviously they're probably going to flip in the rankings. Obviously they both have some ball left to play, but what are we going to do?
Well, I will tell you, Hugh, there's a lot going in the background, and I'm kind of eyeballing what's happening, but
we have a coach that has reached a milestone here at Holbrook High School.
So what's going to happen is these two teams are going to face each other. They're going to see each other again.
You think so? Yes.
Yes, I do.
And they're actually honoring Coach Delmar Johnson. What did they say?
So talking with the score table, Coach Del Johnson hit his 200 win. So it's a milestone for Coach Delmar.
Well, that's amazing because Coach Delmar Johnson, he was an assistant for years. So, I mean, he's just done an amazing job with these. And you could see the emotion on his face, all he's done for these young men and what they do. So, Randall, we're going to segue in. I'm going to talk a little bit as 131-25. That's amazing. He's got a basketball, and I know that personal accolades are a big thing, but I know that Coach Delmar Johnson, probably just because I know him a little bit, is talking about his players. So we're going to go ahead real quick, and I'm going to try to, with these post-game, we're going to try to move on to our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. And our player of the game this evening is number 32, Jaron Vicente of the Holbrook Roadrunners.
Vicente was outstanding tonight on his threes. Again, he gets into that corner, and he's almost unstoppable in that corner.
I'm going to actually try to get him right here.
Okay. And we're going to try to get Coach Delmar.
Jaron!
Well, we were trying to get Mr. Vicente on, and they had a little team activity, which is fine, going through the student section. So we're just going to go ahead and end our broadcast here. But parting thoughts, before I turn it over to Randall, my parting thoughts is you're probably going to have a switch in the rankings, but neither of these teams can be counted out. And what they do and how they go. So I think each team has to take the positive, work on the negative, and move on with this season, because there's still some very good ball and very good teams left.
Yeah, absolutely. Holbrook still has a chance to get into this thing if they're not already into this thing. This win just proves to one thing, that in high school sports you cannot, and I've said this all night long, you cannot count anybody out in the sport. You can't. You don't know what's going to happen, and I believe you're going to see these two teams face off again later into the season or into the state championship bracket.
Well, kind of our parting thoughts there. We appreciate the hospitality from Holbrook High School tonight. Always a great place to come and set up and do a game. Lobo's traveling up the road. The Roadrunners for being gracious hosts. As we're going to end our night as the Holbrook Roadrunners with a 54-50 victory over the Snowflake Lobos here at Munoz Gym, Budenholzer Court. And so I'm Aaron Hewish for RJ, our cameraman, with Randall Anselmo. This has been Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pinetop and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communication station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the express written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.